All you gotta do is take your small band, fold it in half, and then overlap the bottom pieces so that you can sort of twist it and create this nice little cross shape to block off the elbows. We don't want them flying out to the sides when we're achieving the mobilization. What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Caden and I do videos on health education, movement tips, and fitness gear reviews. So if that stuff interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like on today's video if you enjoy it. That'll really help push out some of this content to more people just like yourselves. Today we're getting into part 3 of our front squat series, where we're gonna break down a couple of movement faults that people struggle with as far as mobility is concerned. And I'm gonna show you some ways that you can fix those and apply them to your front squat technique to improve how you do in the gym. Most of what I'm gonna show you today will require some additional equipment. So if you're in a gym facility that has pull-up bands or resistance bands, those are gonna be your best friends. If you don't have any of those and you're working out from home and you wanna pick some up, I left some links in the description that's gonna allow you to pick those up from Amazon. Just understand that those are affiliate links and I will receive a small commission if you do decide to use those. But either way, I think having some of these pieces of equipment are great for long-term success. All right, so in part 2 of this series, I showed you how you can go through a nice little mobility flow with overpressure and a kettlebell to achieve some of the front rack shapes with external rotation, shoulder flexion, all that kind of stuff at the bottom of the squat. We use an elevated plate to take out the heel and take out the ankle restrictions that we might be dealing with to sort of get into those shapes. What we're gonna do today is show you some very specific mobilizations for the shoulder and for the ankle to loosen up the joints and get them ready for front squatting so we can improve our positions over time. So we're gonna start with our front rack shape and our front rack mobilization. All you need is one of these smaller pull-up resistance bands, a barbell, and a PVC pipe. We're gonna use these to sort of help explore some of those end ranges of motion so that we can get the most out of this. All you gotta do is take your small band, fold it in half, and then overlap the bottom pieces so that you can sort of twist it and create this nice little cross shape to block off the elbows. We don't want them flying out to the sides when we're achieving the mobilization. From here, you're gonna take your PVC pipe and go palms facing you with your elbows resting on top of the bar. The PVC pipe should block you from going further into the rig, and that's kind of what we want. From here, you're just gonna lean back a little bit, and I'll go through the whole motion without really talking, but you're gonna push your head down so you can get into some flexion in the shoulders. And then your job is to slowly move your hands as far out to the side of the PVC pipe as you can, so that when you start to flex towards you, you're really gonna feel that stretch in the shoulders. So let's go through a quick demo real quick. Step back, flexion through the arms. Oh, and I'm feeling it right there in the back of the shoulder. If you're a little bit more narrow and you feel like you're flexing too far, just go back to the front of the rig, start to walk those hands out a little bit, and then move back until you feel a little bit more of that restriction. Okay, this motion is gonna help get us into as much shoulder flexion as possible, which is what we want out of the front squat, elbows up. And it's also gonna force us into some external rotation. That gives us better stability on the bar, and it translates super well into being able to externally rotate when we're putting our shoulders all the way up over our heads. Okay, now that we've addressed the upper half, we wanna look at the lower half. And one of the areas that people struggle with the most in the front squat is the ankle. If your ankles are stiff, it's gonna be a lot harder for us to get deep into our positions and also maintain some of the upper body stuff that we just worked on. So one of our favorite mobilizations is just the ankle dorsiflexion mob with the same pull-up band that we just used for the front rack stretch. I may have mentioned this in the air squat series, and I can link that video up here if you wanna go back and watch that as well. But it plays a huge part in what we're doing right here with the front squat. So go ahead and take your small band and hook it up to the rig or door frame or something sturdy that you can tie it to. And then all we want to do is make sure that when we tie it up, we're getting that band right on top of the foot so that it kind of sits below these side ankle bones here. It's going to give us a really good glide on some of the bones that help with this motion. From here, just kick your leg out, get some good tension through the band. And in this staggered stance, all you need to do is maintain a good arch through the foot and drive that knee out over the pinky toe to get that nice glide through the foot. We're not letting the foot collapse as we step in. We're keeping that arch maintained and driving the knee out from there. The band is going to provide that nice backwards glide over the bone. And after about 20 to 25 reps or so, you should feel like you've got a little bit more smooth motion through that joint. Follow up that joint mobilization with a couple minutes of calf stretching on each side, and you should move a little bit better and should be primed pretty well to get right into your front squat warm-up sets. Ultimately, guys, these are just a few of the tools that you can use to improve your front squat motion. If we can get some flexion and external rotation restored through the shoulder, and if we can improve our ankle's ability to dorsiflex and get us into deeper squat positions, we can change how we approach the front squat, how much weight we can add to it, and what we can do with our bodies as we try to get fitter. So if you guys really enjoyed some of the stuff that you learned today, please consider liking today's video. That really helps a ton. And if you enjoy content like this overall, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so that you'll be notified when the next video comes out, especially for part 4 of this series when it comes out next week. I really appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you take some of these tools and you go out and you improve your front squat shapes. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.